These are 3 of the best car accessory upgrades you should have on your car right now. Let's face it, cars will decrease in value the moment the car salesman hand over the keys to you. But value from a usability point of view doesn't have to diminish that way. Our friends over at CarWow did a survey of potential car buyers and asked them which car features they'd be happy to pay more for, and they came up with a list of 20 upgrades that increase the value of used cars. I'm not going to cover every item in that list in this video, but I'm just going to cover the top 3 upgrades you can do yourself. And if you plan to do any of these upgrades to any of these cars, make sure to check out my other videos because I've created easy to follow and comprehensive instructions to help you do them yourself. Let's start with the third in my list, dashcams. This upgrade never made it to the CarWow survey, but I think they're one of the most underrated car features that should be in all modern cars. But let me know what you think. Would you pay more for a car that has a decently installed dashcam than the one without one? Comments below. But generally speaking, there are 3 types of dashcam upgrades available to most cars. First, you might have the official dashcam system directly from the car manufacturer available as an aftermarket option for your car. Normally, this will be installed through the dealership network, and in some cases, you can even do them as a DIY project. These tend to be the most expensive option, but it's always good to do some research so you have a baseline cost. The second option to consider are these windscreen-mounted third-party dashcams. These are universal dashcams that can fit any car, well, unless it's a Ferrari Monza, for obvious reasons, as you can see here. There are also heaps of options available for windshield-mounted dashcams. For example, there are dashcams with built-in screens so you can watch the video footages directly on the device itself. There are also varying degrees of video resolution from standard definition all the way up to 4K, and of course, the higher the video resolution, the more expensive it gets. But from a fit and finish point of view, they're not the most ideal because they introduce clutter on your windshield and they're generally not well integrated into the cabin. And then there are also the ones that clip onto the existing rearview mirror, which is also a good option if you want to avoid windshield clutter, but it could degrade rear visibility depending on the quality of the mirror that comes with the dashcam. And lastly, which is my preferred option, there are these third-party hidden dashcams that you can buy from either AliExpress, eBay, or Amazon. You can install them by swapping out the existing rearview mirror housing with a new one that has an integrated dashcam built specifically for a given car model. The beauty about these dashcams is that they blend really well into the cabin and you won't even know the dashcam is there. And most of these dashcams are made in China, so from a cost point of view, they will be your most cost-effective one. If you're interested in adding a hidden dashcam in your car but you don't know where to begin, I'd like to hear from you, so feel free to post your questions or comments down below and I'll try to assist you the best I can. And also while you're here, you might want to have a look at my dashcam install videos. I'll link them in the description box, so be sure to check them out at the end of this video. Second in the upgrade list is the reverse camera. This came third in the CarWow survey, with over 33% of respondents say they would pay more if the car has this feature compared to a similar car without one. In terms of level of DIYability, this is probably the most labor-intensive item to install because you need to lay the wire all throughout the length of the car, which means there's a lot of trims you need to remove both from the front and the back of the car. Regardless how hard it is to install, I do get the reason why it's top 3 in the survey because it makes the car more usable, especially for young or first-time drivers. It also addresses a safety aspect because it gives you better rearward visibility when reversing out of a parking spot or on your driveway. According to a survey done in France, reversing vehicles are involved in 6.5% of the 11,700 pedestrian accidents annually. That's almost 800 people. There's probably more if you also factor in vehicle-to-vehicle reversing accidents. And in another study, reverse cameras actually help reduce accidents during a reverse maneuver by 41%, and 31% if you have parking sensors only. I'll put a link to those articles in this video, so if your car doesn't have either of these features yet, it's a must-read. And finally, sitting on top of my list is swapping out that old OEM car stereo with an Android-based head unit. This upgrade came in 4th place in the survey, with almost 32% of respondents wanting to have some form of an integrated sat-nav built into the car. And now is the best time to do this upgrade because we're spoiled with so many cost-effective options out there when it comes to aftermarket car infotainment systems. Because the overall quality in terms of fit and finish and ease of installation of these products just keeps getting better and better. If you try to upgrade an OEM stereo, let's say 12 or 15 years ago, you would have been limited with a standard 1 or 2 DIN Bluetooth radio from Pioneer, Alpine, or Sony, with those fancy dancing equalizer lights, and it's up to you to find a fascia kit suitable for your car. It was definitely not for the faint-hearted. Either way, you'll end up with a head unit which won't look anything like an OEM stereo, but you still show it off anyway to your friends because you think those fancy equalizer lights look really cool. But these days, jump into the internet and search for an Android-based head unit for your car, and there's so many options to choose from. Also, one good thing about doing this head unit upgrade today is that it's mostly plug and play. The package usually comes with all the bits and bobs you need for the upgrade, so it takes the hassle of shopping around for certain parts individually. You'll get the wiring harness adapter, CAN bus decoder, and a fascia kit custom built for most cars, so you don't have to worry about covering up the gaps between the stereo and the dashboard yourself. And having an Android-based head unit installed in an old car is a game changer because it improves the usability of the car, especially if you own a smartphone. There's so many add-ons you can do with having an Android-based head unit, but for me the real differentiator is being able to run Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So if you're still sitting on the fence on this one, well, I hope this video has pushed you over to the other side. And that sums up my top 3 DIY car upgrades for 2022. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And finally, it'll mean so much to me if you can support my channel by clicking that subscribe button. And why not hit that bell icon as well so you don't miss any of my future updates. Until next time.